Hey folks, Brendan from Bluelight here, and welcome back to a new video from my new headquarters. This is the new Bluelight headquarters. For those of you who've been following these videos for a while, you'll know that I've been doing them from what is effectively a little cabin, a shed at the bottom of the garden, and then from a little mezzanine area in an extension at the top of the house. Well, I've always had this dream of having a home office in the garden, and here it is. Still doing a little bit of unpacking, so it's a little bit all over the place, but this is part of the home office, what's going to be a little recording studio. So you'll see a lot more videos coming from here in the future. So today I want to talk to you about the online assessment centre and some of the issues that you're creating for yourself and failing at the first hurdle, which is the situational judgment test. Now, I've just finished a webinar with course 9 of 2021, so you might be watching this around March 2021. If you are, then you're watching this just minutes after I finished that webinar, first webinar, group webinar in the new office, which was an awesome moment. It's just great. Everything's working out just perfectly here. Dedicated office to work from, dedicated place where I can do the webinars without screaming kids in the background or the dog barking or all the other disruptions that take place in our new world of webinars and Zooms and things like that. Anyway, so where are we? We're back to situational judgment tests. So there's a few people actually in the group who've sat the situational judgment test, which is part of the online assessment centre before, and they've failed it. And so what we did is we did a little session on how to actually pass the situational judgment test. And it's quite simple really, folks. You'll be told at the beginning of the exercise to answer the questions honestly and as naturally as you possibly can, as you would in any given circumstances, as you are now. Wrong. This is not the way to pass the situational judgment test. I know of 5 police officers who've sat the situational judgment test over the years and have all failed it. There was a detective sergeant from a certain force whose son failed the situational judgment test, so he decided, I want to see what this is all about. So he applied to the police and was invited to do a situational judgment test, and he failed it. And so he thought, this can't be right. So he got 4 of his detectives to apply as well, and they all failed it. What's going on? They failed it because they're answering the questions how they probably would as serving police officers. Remember, the people who put these sort of exercises together are not serving police officers who've never held a warrant card in their pocket. They're putting these exercises together so remotely and so out of context with the real world of policing. When I talk about the real world of policing, I mean the real ethical world of policing, not policing in the 1980s. It's not life on Mars. I mean, the sort of police that we aspire to be, and we want to be part of a service which is ethical, where people respect each other, where people respect each other's rights as individuals, where we bend over backwards for the needs of fellow citizens, and we always take responsibility for what we do and how we do it. We make good decisions. Sometimes we make poor ones, but we reflect on it and we improve on what we do. And we always challenge inappropriate behaviour. Now, that's the right thing to do. These are the right things to do, but you'll also find these things within the competency and values framework. So as opposed to answering the questions honestly and naturally, which is the worst thing to do because you're answering them as you are today, you're going to answer the questions as the best version of the future constable self you are ever going to be. The best version of the future constable self that you're ever going to be. That you've had an injection, if you like, a vaccination of code of ethics and competency and values framework. It flows through your blood. It's in your DNA. It's who you are. So answer the questions, folks, as the best version of the future constable self that you're going to be. Don't follow the instructions about acting naturally, being honest and as honest as you possibly can. No, as the best version of your future constable self that you're going to be. That's the way to pass, folks. And if you want to know more about how to pass, then there's some links to the courses that I've just mentioned below in the links, and also the opportunity to join the most incredible Facebook group there is out there. almost 16,000 members of the Bluelight Police Recruitment Facebook support group. An amazing group. A good few thousand of them are serving police officers there to help support you. The rest of them are in a similar situation to you, wanting to join the police. That's the group for you, and there's a link below. So hopefully you've enjoyed this and you've got something out of it. And if you've got any questions or comments, please do ask below in the comments. Subscribe and like and all of that usual stuff. I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye bye for now.